to Sports According to Neil. I'm Neil Roseanne, and I'll be your guide today for what would usually be the New Year's Day games, well, now the New Year's 2nd games. Still going to be great, though. I'm going to give you all the key players and X factors and everything you need to know about each of these games so you can have a really good feel for the game as you go into it. So, without further ado, let's get this party started. Welcome to Sports According to Neil. Once again, I'm Neil Roseanne, and I'm breaking down what would be the New Year's Day games, but NFL got in the way, so it's the, New Year's 2nd day games? Well, that doesn't have a good ring to it, but whatever. We'll keep going, and we're going to start it off right here with some games. We got the Ticket City Bowl, which is featuring the Houston Cougars, who are 12-1, and the Penn State Nittany Lions, who are 9-3. Really interesting game here. The key player, we're going to start off here with Houston, has to be Case Keenum. He's amazing. Over 5,000 yards of passing offense so far and 45 touchdowns this year. That's NFL numbers, folks. I know it's just CUSA competition, but come on, that's something you need to look at. The X factor is going to be Tyron Carrier, who is the Houston kick returner, and he could really, if the offense for some reason is getting beat down by that Penn State defense, he could really be the spark plug, and, he's explosive. A kick returner is always explosive, could really juice his team up. Penn State, on the other hand, they have the key player, who is the fullback. Yeah, the fullback. It's going to be Michael Zorlich, who has the job of protecting McGloin from Sammy Brown, who is a Houston linebacker who has 12.5 sacks, and if Penn State wants a chance, they really need to have McGloin upright. X factor for Penn State is the focus. A lot of off-season issues, going to be tough. And then I have our game breaker, which is going to be Penn State's scoring ability. I've watched them a lot this year. They really don't score a lot, so it's going to be really interesting to see if they can get some points up on the board. If they don't, well, obviously they're going to lose. And, my prediction is Houston winning 35-10. Next up, we got the Capital One Bowl, which is the Nebraska Cornhuskers, 9-3, and South Carolina Gamecocks, who are 10-2. Now, we're going to start with Nebraska's key player, who is Taylor Martinez, who has thrown for 1,973 yards, 12 touchdowns. He's really pretty good. He's a dual threat, too. He can run on he has a little bit of running game, and he's interesting to watch. We also have the X factor, who is Rex Burkhead, the Cornhuskers running back. They really need to pound the ball with him. They don't get any first downs. It's going to be really interesting to see how they handle the South Carolina pressure, but that'll be it. And for South Carolina, they have Brandon Wilds. He is their key player. Why? Because he is filling in for their starter, Marcus Lattimore, who has injury, going to miss this game. They're really going to miss him. He's one of the best running backs in the SEC, and Marcus Lattimore is the X factor. Because he's not playing, that takes away a huge South Carolina weapon. We're going to have to see how they can adapt. That'll be really interesting. Plus, with the quarterback issues, who knows? The game breaker is that Nebraska has one of the worst pass offenses in the nation, and Martinez's ability to hold on to the ball is almost, comical. He loses it so much, and SC is going to be really, drooling from the mouth, trying to get as many interceptions, fumbles as they can. I think they'll be pretty good at that. And plus, the one big thing is motivation for this game. And South Carolina has a lot of motivation. There's never been a team in South Carolina history who has reached 11 wins. They are the first one that could do so. And, I see them doing that. It's going to be pretty easy for them. There'll be some interesting times without Marcus Lattimore, but South Carolina wins 38-24. Onward and upward to the Gator Bowl, where we have Ohio State, who is 6-6, and Florida, who's 6-6. A rematch the national championship a couple years ago, and now with the Urban Meyer thing, that's really going to be the overlying story in this whole thing, because neither team is that good. Sorry, but anyway, The key player for Ohio State is going to be Braxton Miller. I know he hasn't been that impressive, but less than 1,000 yards passing and 11 touchdowns, so not really much. But he is Ohio State's leading rusher, which is bizarre. But anyway, the X factor is going to be John Simon, who has 7 sacks this year, and he's going to be really important on bringing the pressure on Brantley. The more that they can do that, the more, they'll get turnovers and more and such like that. Now, next up, we have Jonathan Brantley, who has 10 touchdowns this year, and he has 1,912 yards. He's Florida's QB, and he's been pretty good. Not a Tim Tebow or anyone else, but he's been able to ho-hum his way through the SEC season. The key factor will be, for the Gators, is the defensive play and special teams. That's probably where they're going to be able to win this game. The offense probably going to be a little bit stagnant against the Ohio State defense. They are really going to need to do something on the defensive side of the ball or special teams to really win this game. My prediction, well, you all might know. I like me some Ohio State, you could say. But, gotta say, without Trussell, might as well not even play. I don't know. I got Florida 20-17. It'll be an okay game. Now the Outback Bowl, which you've all been waiting for, this prediction: Michigan State versus Georgia. Key player for Michigan State is the defense. Now I know that's certainly not a player, but they really need them to show up because honestly, they're one of the nation's best, and they only allow 17.5 points per game. And against a great SEC team, you really need to stop the offense. Technically, in any game you do, but they really need to slow down this Georgia offense. The X factor will be B.J. Cunningham. He's caught 12 touchdown passes this year, and the run game might not be working so well against that Georgia defense, so they're really going to need him to come up with some great catches and hopefully scoring opportunities or points. The key player for Georgia is Aaron Murray. He is a future Heisman candidate, a lot of people are saying, and he's thrown for 33 touchdowns this year. That's pretty incredible. And, if Georgia wants to win, he's going to need to continue that. That looks like that's probably going to happen. He's going to throw some touchdowns on Michigan State. The X factor, though, Isaiah Cowell. He has been their Georgia running back. He has 847 yards, pretty good numbers, 5 touchdowns. If he can pound the ball against this Michigan State defense, work that play action, Georgia's got it good. The key factor, though, this is a good stat, though, 3rd down. Georgia is 3rd in the nation in stopping 3rd downs. Michigan State has only converted 72 of 182. That's a problem. I see that coming up big and often. Georgia wins 38-31. Go Dogs, I guess. And with that, we're moving on to some BCS picks. And now we're coming down the home stretch for the BCS games, starting with the Rose Bowl, one of my personal favorites of all time, always growing up in Big Ten country, big game. And as you know, I'm a little bit of an Oregon fan too, but we're not going to let that get in the way now. Wisconsin and Oregon for the Rose Bowl here. You know they're both good teams. Wisconsin's just a few, 2 Hail Marys from being in the national championship. And, well, the key player for Wisconsin, Russell Wilson. He's thrown for over 2,500 yards, 31 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He is pretty much the Badgers' offense behind Monty Ball, of course. But he is going to be key because of his 3 interceptions. That doesn't give the Oregon defense many chances to pick off a pass and such. I think he will be doing great this game. And the X factor will be Nick Toon, who has over 800 yards and 9 touchdown grabs. He's a Wisconsin wide receiver, and he'll be able to get behind that Oregon secondary and cause some havoc. Oregon's key player, Darren Thomas, who has nearly 2,500 yards and 30 touchdowns this season. The problem with him is his decision-making. He's been a little bit shaky at times. He needs to show up for this game if Oregon wants to have a chance. X factor is DeAnthony Thomas, the Black Mamba. 440 yards. I know not a lot. 5 touchdowns, but he is explosive. LaMichael James fast. He can make one big play that could probably change the course of this game entirely. Keys to the game is Wisconsin, if they can keep up the speed, keep up the pace with Oregon. And for Oregon, it's their defense. They can't bend but not break, and they also need to contain Russell Wilson. Once Russell Wilson gets outside the pocket, game over. Who wins? I got Wisconsin in a 41-39 thriller. Now on to the best game of, I think, all bowl season, which is going to be the Fiesta Bowl between Stanford and Oklahoma State. Key player for Stanford, Andrew Luck. He has over 3,000 yards passing, 35 touchdowns. He's the man. Going to go be a Indianapolis Colt. Can't start yet, though. Got to finish this game. He'll play great. X Factor is Colby Freener, who has over 600 yards of offense, 10 touchdowns. He will be great, really mixing it up for that Stanford offense. It'll be pretty cool. And key player for Oklahoma State is Justin Blackman. He has 1,336 yards through the air and 15 touchdowns, explosive all year. He'll continue that. And the X Factor is the defense for Oklahoma State. They really need to be on this game, contain Andrew Luck, really go out there and beat him up. The keys to the game, though, Oklahoma State, they need to attack the secondary of Stanford. They really need to do that because the Stanford secondary is terrible, and that's going to be the big weakness there. And Stanford, they need to get in the red zone, because this year in the red zone, they are 63 of 64. And that equates to a lot of points. I see Oklahoma State winning this, honestly, people. It's going to be a great game, but Oklahoma State, I want to say, 38-31. And with that, I now have my competition, who is Max, my dog. Earlier today, he made his BCS picks for these two games, and let's see how he did. And hopefully I don't lose to my dog. It'd be embarrassing. But whatever. Well, there's our lucky pup, Max. He's a golden retriever. He picked the Super Bowl last year correctly. Well, over here we have an Oregon carrot. And on the other side here, there's a Wisconsin carrot. Carrots are his favorite food. We got to see which one he picks. Here he is. A little bit hesitant. Looking. Oh! And it's Wisconsin. But it looks like with how quickly he picked it, it's going to be Wisconsin and Oregon in a close one with Wisconsin winning. It's Fiesta time for Max as he's going to pick this game. Oklahoma State there with the orange carrot. And the Stanford Cardinal with that carrot. We're going to see which way he goes. Oh, Oklahoma State quickly. So I think it's going to be a blowout by Oklahoma State. And, well, wow. He picked the same way I did. I think he's stealing my answers. Well, I hope I don't lose to him, but with a face like that, you can't deny him. Oh, what a lucky pup. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. This has, of course, been Sports According to Neil. And I hope you get to enjoy the bowl games this year. They only come around once a year. And today's just a great day to just sit down on the couch, watch college football, be lazy, put on some calories up for the winter. Put on some pounds, too. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time on Sports According to Neil.
Oh, Maxie, he's so cute. Yes, he is. Oh, sports puppy.